community server. Here you can see community server. Just write it on your here on the first link. You can go. Okay, from here you can see here it is giving you the 32-bit or 64-bit. It depends on your operating system, either it is 32-bit or 62-bit. You can go to the download page directly, and okay, after going to the download page you can select from here the 32-bit or 32-bit version. Either you want this version or this version. I am going to select this version, 18.6. Actually in 18.6 MB version you have to download some more extra things by yourself, but in that if you download this 300 MB version, you don't need to download any further things and after downloading it. So you can select any version from here. I have already downloaded, so I am not downloading it. Another thing you can also download for your comfort is the ID. I am going to teach you it. When you download the MySQL installer, this will give you the MySQL command prompt. So in this video I am going to teach you on the command line interface, but you can also practice these queries on the IDE where that is Heady SQL. You can see here this is the logo of that ID, and you can download it simply by here, and it is the open source ID. You don't have to pay anything for it. Okay, so let's start. I am opening my MySQL command line interface. It first asks me the password. I am entering the password. Okay, I have entered in my MySQL database. What is actually MySQL? MySQL is the database manager. It is the database manager, and SQL is the language, structured query language is the language which is used to manage that SQL database that is present in the MySQL database. Okay, so this is the difference between the MySQL and SQL. SQL is the language that is used to deal with the database that is present in the MySQL. And another important thing in the MySQL is this is the relational database. In all the MySQL queries, in the SQL queries, you have to deal with the relational database. Relational database are those databases that are structured, that are in the form of tables, not in the form of lists or dictionaries or tuples. I think you have an idea of these terminologies if you have learned other languages like C# or C. What are the dictionaries or dictionary tuples or etc. Okay, so the data is not in the format of dictionary, list or tuple. It is in the format of the proper table format. When I am going to make here the data table, you can see the data format here. It would not be in the format of dictionary or tuple or list. So okay, start by making a table here. First, start by creating a database. How to create a database here? Just write create database and you have to choose here the name for the database, and I am choosing here, let's see if it is recording or not. Yes, it is recording. I choosing here YSF. Okay, so the database is created here. Now for using that particular database, you just type use and the name of that database. So it is showing that you have entered in that particular database YSF. Okay, now if I okay, let's start by creating a table. Okay, I am creating a table here. Good thing in the SQL language is that it is not case sensitive language. You can write it in the uppercase or either in the lower case it is, and it will understand it by itself. So it is not a case sensitive language. So start by creating a table. Create table and table name. Just write this student. Okay, let's write, and this is the keyword for syntax for creating a table, and I write that this is the name which you can call for the table. This is the table name, students. Okay, after declaring the table name, you just use a parenthesis here. Okay, just wait a second. I've done some. Okay, I am going to make a table in the IDLE. I have installed it in here. Okay, I am going to this SQL. I have already installed it. I am making a table here. After making the table here, I will continue the further video in the command line. It is easier to make the table in the IDLE. Okay, just skip it. Okay, let's see how do you start this IDLE. Here the host, you say the local host because you haven't purchased any domain, so just write here the local host, root, and then password. Here password is the password you have set for your MySQL server. Port is default, and okay, open. Okay, this is the previous code I am working. Just start. Okay, just wait a minute. Here I created the database. Here you can see our database YSF. So just clicking it. And here in this IDLE we have entered in our database. Just made a new query tab and saving it, Control S. That is not saved. Okay. I made a directory, so you can save this file anywhere. Just a SQL file by name lecture. Okay. Just start by creating a table. Create. Here, and the good thing in this ideally is this: it will show you whether you are typing is the keyword or some other word. Either it is the default keyword of the SQL, it will highlight it like this in the italic form, so you can easily understand that this is the keyword. You can differentiate between the keyword or your programming words. This is the good thing I found in this ideally. Okay, what name I suggested here? Okay, students, and after declaring the name, just made a parenthesis here, and after making parenthesis I just made a tab and how the columns. Okay, after declaring the table name, I am going to make the columns in the table. First column would be the student ID, and the type of that particular column, what type of values you will enter in that column. If you are familiar with the programming languages, you know that in every programming language you have to declare the type of the variable, or so here you are declaring the type of this column. So the type of this column is int is the default keyword, so it is already suggested here. And I am also making it the primary key here. Primary key is just like when there are more than two tables, when you are dealing with more than two tables, so this would be helpful. I will clear this thing in the further video. Okay, and the next column, okay, so I am not declaring it the primary key, I am just declaring it not null value. Okay, so this column would be not null. Okay, and then making a new column that would be the, let's suppose, first. And first is the keyword, default keyword, so it is, and that's why it was making it in the. Okay, wait, just wait. Okay, first name, and the type of the first name would be what would be the type of the first name would be care. So understand, either it could be care or where care. Okay, so understand the difference between the care and the where care. Here I am declaring in the char there would be 20 variables, 20 letters, 20 letters, and in the varchar I have also declared the 20 variables. So what is the difference between these two? The difference between these two is in the char you can only, it is limited that there could only be the name that contains the 20 letter, not less than 20, not more than 20. But in the varchar there could be the variable length of the English letters that you can store. You can store in this column the name that is less than 20, but you cannot store more than 20 letter name. But you can store less than 20 letter name. You can store here the 8 letter name, you can store here the 5 letter name. So I am going to remove the char type and I am using here the varchar type, variable character type. Okay, after declaring it the type here, I am making the comma and then last name type would also be varchar and 20 letters, and you can put this limit by your own choice. I am suggesting here the 20 because it is only the first name and the last name, not the full name, so that's why. Okay, and the third column I am making here for salary. So salary type should be integer and must contain 15 digits. I am restricting the digits here to 15. After that, the department. Department is again variable okay, don't put the comma at the last column. Last declared column will not require any comma. Just place another round bracket and semicolon here. Okay, you have created here the table. Just saving it. One second. Okay. Just overwriting it. Okay, so going to your command line, here you can check you have created a table. So after entering in your database, I have entered in the database by using the command use by and the name of the database, and for seeing that how many tables present in your database, just write show tables. It is showing there is no table. Why? Let me check this. I haven't run this. Okay. Here comes the error. Department line 3. Okay, let me check. Let let me check. There is some syntax error, that's why it is not making the table. I am just suggesting a primary key again. Let's see what happened here. So what would you do for seeing? Okay, let's back to our command line and check if the table is created. Yes, the table is created. You can see the name of the table here. Tables and in our particular database, that name is YSF, and the table name we suggested here, the student. So okay, if we want to see our actual table here, how would we see? We just write here describe table. Okay, let me check here. Describe table. Let me comment it out. Okay, okay, let me comment it out again, and then just check it here. Here is okay. Let's write a syntax from star from static select the table name. Here you write the table name and then execute. Let me check my previous question. Just right here. The table name, I need to make a semicolon. Just why it is showing the error at line 8. it again. Okay. Now if I make it here you can see the table has come. You can also see it in the command line. Describe and then the table name, that is students. Here you can see the output of your final table, not final, but this is the table till yet. And what you are seeing here, you can see here the table in the proper table format. There is the scaling, and this table is not in the format of dictionary or list or tuple. It is in the proper table format. Okay, let's